What makes a music or song? Some would say the beats, another would say the lyrics, and another would say the musician's voice. Well, there's no doubt that all these elements combine to produce the melodious oral aesthetics we call music. Is music spiritual? People claim that music heals the mind, improves mood. Others say music is the life of the party, for those of you who love to party. And I can see some of you when you go to parties, the way you dance. So music is actually the life of the party. And others will say it helps them meditate. Like for me, music helps me to meditate. What is music to you? Music used to be a safe haven, but the Nigerian musicians, that is secular musicians in quotes, have adopted immoral and meaningless lyrics in their songs, which surprisingly sells. This has formed concern for the NDLEA as musicians continue to promote the use of drugs through their musical content. How has music become an instrument for satanic penetration into the minds of the Gen Zs and promoting drug abuse and fraudulent lifestyle? Well, that'll be the focus for our podcast for today. Greetings and you're welcome to the Veegilant podcast. Today's episode is going to focus on secular musicians as promoters of drug abuse. There's no doubt that music is actually the life of the party and people listen to music. How has music influenced the life of people and how has music contributed to the growth of drug abuse? We are going to be going into that shortly after this break. You're still listening to the Veegilant podcast. Don't forget to always listen and tune in. We are on YouTube. Yes, you can listen to any of our podcast series. You can also go to Spotify and to have this lovely discussion because it's going to be a sensitive issue. That is why I'm so serious right now. I have with me two of my co-hosts. We are going to be doing this with me. Favor, you're welcome. Grace, you're welcome. This is a very sensitive issue. Last week, we had a lot of fun talking about what is love. This week, we can't even have fun because it is a sensitive issue. Drug abuse is getting more scarier and scarier. The fact that young people at the age of 9 are even consuming these drugs is what makes me concerned. And to be sincere, music is actually contributing to this. Let's be very sincere. Favor, what do you have to say?
There's no lie there. Music is universal. You can't get to a place and you don't hear them using music. You can't get to any culture and you can't hear them using music because music is part of life. Like you can't live like without music.
Exactly.
So to the extent we use music and the way we use it actually influences our way of life, the way we do things. For example, myself, when I'm working, I have to put on music in order to motivate me. Like lately, I use this Ashake song, Lolly at the top. So when I'm doing my cake, so I feel that place I say Lolly at the top and I'm doing it.
You're the only lonely person.
I say that this is my music and that place now says money on my mind.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, for me, music is a motivation to me. Music is universal. You can use it for a number of things.
I agree with you. What's your comment on this phrase?
Yeah, as she have said earlier on, she said music is universal. It's cultural as well. It's part of our culture. When like every tribes now, they have their own set of music.
Yeah.
Maybe like the Igbos, when they play any Igbo song, you already know this is the tribe playing this. So it's part of us. It's part of our culture, just like food and other things. So music is part of our culture, and I would say is a medication to the soul too.
Yeah.
Some people see it like anytime they are feeling tense, they are feeling depression, they play some music and it just have a way of relaxing them.
Yeah,
So I
true.
think that's what music. Just as we talk about love last week, everybody have different meaning about it and different definition about it. So same thing with music. Music, everybody have different
own
definition
opinion,
about
perspective.
music. Yeah.
So there was this Korean movie I was watching one time. I think I watched that years back. The movie, the song, there was this song, this girl, she was like, music is my life. And it's true, music is life for people.
life.
Some people don't go a day without listening to music. Now, this is what makes it a concerning issue and sensitive issue, with the fact that music is something people can't do without. And because it's something that people cannot do without. Now, there is now the influx of, some kind of content or some kind of lyrics in this music that makes it, very sensitive and an issue of concern. In one of the interview we had when we were covering drug abuse case, two of how do I put it now? People who are recovering, drug addicts recovering people, they are recovering from drug consumption and all that. They have been in it for years and all that. So they said music actually is part of the reason why they went into drugs.
Wow.
So there's a song. I was actually going to play that song, but we can't play that song for some reasons. Like, that song is so funny. I mean, the title of the song is Colos. I don't know if you've heard of Colos.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
Colos.
a popular song.
Colorado, all right? It's actually a drug people consume, and when you consume it, seriously, you are, if you just know that drug, people who take it, they act like mad people. You don't know what is happening. If you see videos of people, they'll be shaking violently. And so the lyrics of the song reads, boys on Colos, see if you greet me for road, I know as I do on Colos. Like, the lyrics of the song actually comes in English and Igbo part, but then there's the Igbo part I would just want to focus on. He was like, it's as if his head, they are tearing his head apart. So that's actually what
drugs
I don't know
do.
if it's still the song, but there's a part he said, Mbulu Milia de Uzi.
Yes.
Now, guys on Colos.
Exactly.
Mbulu Milia is actually like meth.
Yeah.
Meth is another drug. So he's now trying to tell them that this one now, Ade Uzi means it's not in fashion again.
Yes.
Like, it's now outdated. The new drug in town is Colorado. So the music was kind of informing them of
Exactly.
Like
new
there's
drug.
new renovation
No.
about drug abuse.
Yes, I want to
Yes.
inform you. Meth is no longer.
It's for the small
So you have
ones.
to join us on Colos right now.
and it's concerning.
It's funny how the music was produced and pushed out,
And a lot
the
of
media
people
is not
listen
doing
to
anything
it, hard
about it.
streams and downloads, and it makes me to question that what is actually the people doing? People that license or censor this musical content. I remember one time there was this song that came out, Dajubule. That song was actually banned. So what happened to this song? Why is nobody banning it? It is still on Google. People are downloading it. And the NDLEA is saying they claim they are fighting drug abuse.
What are they fighting
And the
for?
truth is that this Colos now is actually locally produced. There are laws that guide drugs, like the one we have cocaine and the rest, because these ones are produced in the lab for some reasons. But these local drugs, there are no laws that actually that covers them. So there's no way they can track these people. You see somebody bringing feces, gutter water, these things.
Just mix up some things.
Some outside laborers, they do that.
Exactly.
They'll just inhale, suck away.
Rusted nails.
Like when I was growing, I knew that codeine was either, I think it's for one particular, but
Like
then
for cough. I use it for cough.
Exactly.
I use
So
it
we
for
know
cough.
that codeine like is meant for cough, depending on the milligram. But like when I start seeing people, they now mix it with soft drink, something else, in order to build up to another highness. Like it's quite sad.
You're still listening to the Veegilant podcast, and we're here to trash a sensitive issue: secular musicians as promoters of drug abuse. This is not an indictment. This is not a statement. This is not even a slander. But to be sincere, musicians in Nigeria are indirectly promoting drug abuse through their lyrics. And okay, now let's focus on this part, Favor and Grace.
Okay.
Now, we want to look at how they are promoting drug abuse through the lyrics of their content.
Okay.
Now, there is no doubt that these musicians, once they release a song and people like it, it goes viral. They get fans, all right? They are indirectly like, we look at them as influencers. And when we call people influencers, we believe that
They are
have,
imparting something
yes,
to us,
they
to
can
the
influence
society.
our values and opinion. So for instance, if I have someone as, like, I love this person's music, and in his music or his lyrics or all that, his videos, he's always showing smoking and all that. Now, as a young person watching that video, what comes to mind is, this is my mentor. This is my role model. All right, Wizkid is my role model. So is my
moral wise.
Naira Marley is my this thing. So if Naira Marley is doing this, is enjoying life, it means this is the way. So they are giving a lifestyle that you want to imbibe that lifestyle as a young person. So now, what do you have to say? Can you make mention of some musicians whose lifestyle, whose music videos or lyrical content is promoting drug abuse and nobody is doing anything and people still love them?
Okay, let me start with our number one giant. For me, I don't know for others, but I love Burna Boy because I think he's into the culture and he deals with some Nigerian issues in his songs. But then there is this song, I don't think this is the only one, but this one in particular, I love the part where they say, hey, it don't cast, last night, everybody got chop breakfast, like we used to sing it, until, I got to a point, it got to a point where they are not singing, I need Igbo and Shayo, I can't they ask, Igbo and Shayo from how, so I was just listening based on the vibe and the beat and everything. But when I started going through the lyrics, and I found out, okay, that this song is all about, okay, his heart got broken, and because of that, he now had to go into drugs in order to get high and everything. So the simple message that has been passed through that song is that if at any point in your life you got broken or through relationship or anything, that the best thing for you to do is to go and get high. And for me, as a fan of that person, he's someone I look up to and I admire. So if I don't know my limits, I will key into whatever he says.
Exactly.
So I'll say, do you know that? But if even what Burna Boy say something, who are you? Like I will try to do, because he made it feel right.
Yeah.
There's this guy also, he's an American, Wiz Khalifa. So I think the name of the song, Young, Wild, and we used to sing it when we were in secondary school. So, but I just loved it because of his voice and the vibe and everything. But I know, like much later, I started looking at the lyrics of that song. So let me just read what is written. So he's asking in the song, so what we get drunk, so what we smoke with, if we smoke with, and so what, we are just having fun. Yeah. So the message says living young and wild and free. So it's kind of telling you that your young age is your year of freedom, that you have to be free in your young age. You can smoke, you can do anything. So I don't actually know what they have in mind when they are pushing out this song. I don't know if they are singing it for themselves. But to an extent, these things are affecting young people. If I should listen to this song and I'm someone that doesn't know my limit, I would just say, see waiting with Khalifa, my man, talk now. Say we are young and we should be
Live
free
wild.
and I'll start doing my own stuff. Do you understand? So lyrics, to so many extents, they affect our lives. And coming to the part of the videos that they make, you will see them like the way, apart from drugs, the way they promote lavish lifestyles,
nudity.
And they will now come like at that drug part, the way they will glamorize it,
Exactly.
make drug look so beautiful. Like when we are growing up, we know that if you're smoking marijuana and all of those things, as a kid, if I look at you, I'll be like, you look at what you're doing. Like we look at those people,
Like
as
I look at you like a sinner.
a sinner, like this
Yes,
mother is a
you
sinner.
go to
all of that.
hellfire.
But by the time you're now watching your favorite person on in a video and they just see it, and when they puff it, the rings, the circle rings, they will now
Exactly.
make that thing look so beautiful, and you so much want to. Let me check.
They
this
show you
out.
the ecstasy.
You make the aesthetics, everything makes it look so beautiful that you are pushed to try. Let me try and know what it will feel like or be like.
Let's hear from Grace.
Okay, before my opinion might be a little bit different from you guys.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Before we dissect into this drug abuse, because in this our nation, especially Africa, we have this justice system of writing things off. Drug is not a bad thing. Even when I take paracetamol, I'll take a little cocaine in me. Do you agree with that?
Medically
Medically,
we know.
So, but when you bring abuse, that is because
illegal consumption.
when it's now abnormal, when it's now abnormal. But sometimes we don't really even ask why. We only focus on the side effect. We don't ask these people if we are drawing close to asking why these people are into it. Then we are drawing close to the solutions. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
We are drawing close to the solutions. Like you just as Favor said, the way they are exhibiting, like making it look beautiful when they are smoking it. Shisha now. They brought in shisha. I was talking to one teenager one time. He said, "No, shisha doesn't high. Have you seen the fragrance?" He or she was trying to paint it in.
They add flavors to shisha,
you understand?
so it looks so
but
appetizing.
But they want to draw the attention of that adolescent in that child. The child doesn't really know how harmful it is. But the how you beautify it now look as if it has taken away their conscience that there is nothing bad about it. So you understand? And the government is not even helping matters in the sense when I begin to we saw when NDLEA use one of the
Naramali.
Let's no one
as an ambassador.
I don't want to mention someone's name. So
I keep questioning the motive behind that.
Become a slander.
I keep mentioning
making him as a drug abuse ambassador. It was that
drug ambassador.
I keep questioning the motive behind that decision.
I don't understand because have you seen this guy's content?
So to some people they will say it is for their own relief. It is for their when they are tense, just as I've said earlier on, maybe when they are in pains. Just when you brought up the issue of Burna Boy just now.
Yeah.
But there are other. I could remember when we were growing up, just as you said. Even bros, big bros, when they are smoking, they will go and hide. But now, I don't know how we got to this stage that it is like our moral value is gone.
That's why we are actually. That's why we are here to talk about this.
Do you understand? Let's just quickly dissect into why.
Let me make a reference to what you just said. You said that we don't try to ask those people. Remember before when we started this podcast, I said we had a field work and we went out to interview recovering drug addicts, and two of them stated during the interview that music was part of the reason why they went into drugs. That is why this is our issue of deliberation today. How can we be able to, what can we do to ensure that music is no longer a safe haven again? Because it is now promoting, you just said something, the way they beautify this thing. Look at a young boy trying to justify. And believe me, if you ask that boy to spell 8-letter words, he can't be able to spell it. You just see young people. I saw a small girl. If you see the way she was singing twerk, I was like,
I'm yet to get the meaning of that song.
It means twerk your body. They just only remove the arrowcade.
Just to add flavor to it.
I'm so like, I'm puzzled because you see a young child, the video they'll post it to go viral.
To work last week.
Like even female are going to it than even the male. Like the rate female are using drugs now.
God.
Maybe those that are going to prostitution and all of that, they are using drugs. But when we are young, it's always weird when a woman is smoking. It's always looking so weird.
Yeah.
But now it's like a norm.
That's why we are saying this is part of
music
what music contributed.
And the media.
If you look at those, when they are doing their video, the Veegilants, those
video
women that dance in their movie or their models, you see them using those drugs. You feel like, I thought they said that we're not supposed to do this, but look at this beautiful lady. She's even more pretty than I am, and she's doing this.
And one
Who
thing
am I?
is that anything you are addicted to have a way of having control over you.
Yeah.
It makes you to reason with your fellow drug addicts. Even if you have that morals before, it's because of you are already addicted to it.
Yeah.
It's have a way of maybe having control, riding you. That is one thing
I also want to say something. I think that music is being underestimated. The power of music is underestimated. There is this song that was produced by Jennifer Liago I think 2022. Is an Igbo song on Olube. So it's about unity and loving your siblings and coming together. So in one of the forums that I was in Facebook, one of the women commented that my brother did something very bad to me, and I've already made plans on how I'm going to revenge, like a terrible revenge. Until I came across this Jennifer's song, I took my time to listen to it, and instantly, I regretted everything. I started crying. So that's the power of music. What music does to people. Okay, I can remember again this T.Y. Bello song, "The Land Is Green," talking about Nigeria and everything. When I was more, so much, and the song made me to love Nigeria so much. That is the power of music. It has a control over your emotions. So imagine when this music that is supposed to say something good in order to help society is now talking about something else.
That's the emotional part of music. So while I was deliberating what should we discuss on today's podcast, I was thinking music, like you said, has control over our emotion. No wonder when you go for therapeutic section, they use music. Exactly. If you notice, music helps the person to heal. Most times they use music, binaural waves. They use music to help you to recall previous, maybe past memories that you don't want to recall. And that is why, if we check it, a crucial part of music, what makes a music, is not just the voice of the musician, it's not just the drums, not just the piano or every instrument. The lyrics is also vital. Some persons will be like, we know they listen to lyrics, now they beating. But let me tell you something. Let's try this experiment. If you're listening to this podcast, you are someone like me. I'm someone who loves listening to, gospel music. But most times I can listen to love songs, all right, because I feel, once in a while something. Now, just if you love listening to gospel song, your neighbor should be playing song like Twe Twe Twe. Don't even pay attention to it. During the day, try doing something. From nowhere, that lyrics of that song will come. You will see yourself singing it, Twe Twe Twe. And you will be so shocked that you'll be so shocked that I don't know this song. I did not learn the lyrics. How did it even get into my mind?
So many music that I never played by myself.
Exactly.
It kept on playing around
your
the environment.
Spirit. That's why they say it's powerful.
Music is spiritual. It goes down into our spirit, even the lyrics. And that is what happened with these songs that promote drug abuse. You keep hearing someone saying, codeine makes me high. Codeine makes me high. Now, you might not want to take drugs. Or maybe, and something happens, like you say, situations happen, people take it because they want to relieve pain. And you remember that song that says, codeine make me high. And in that point, the person painted the song to be, when you take codeine, you forget your pain. You want to try it out. So we can't just deny the fact that music is contributing to drug abuse in Nigeria, which takes us to the next part. Now, let's move down to the part of musical videos. We have dwelt on music. Okay. Favor and Grace. Now, there's this video, science student done by Olamide. Now, in that video, if you should check the setting of the video, they're actually talking about drugs. Now, to some persons, they can interpret it to be that video is advocating against drug abuse. But was that video really successful in doing that? Because the way they painted it with the zombies and everything showing the drug,
they even bring an old woman into the video.
It's looking more like
old woman?
Take drugs to me.
Like when I told you about that song initially, like innocently, I thought it was supporting drugs until we now started seeing the videos. it got to a point you now see where they wrote say no to drugs on the wall. But when you keep on watching the video, you'll be like, okay, at which point are we supposed to stay away from drugs? Because everything they are doing, the dance, everything is supporting it. So it's like they're just like opposing things. They're contradicting themselves with that video.
They are confusing us.
It doesn't make sense. You're saying that we should stay away from drugs, whereas your video is showing us like the beauty, how you can do it and get. I beg, made a rest.
Yes.
Actually,
that video
is enough for me.
Like when you listen to the lyrics, you will think, okay, they are promoting it. But just as you said, when they were putting and say no to drugs, it begins to contradict. Which one am I to follow? As a child growing up, maybe as a teenager, the child begins to get confused. Am I going with this? Am I going with it? But let me say this. One thing about drug is that it doesn't impurify, it amplifies. If you are having foolishness in you, it will amplify that foolishness out. That is one thing about drug. It's just like madness. So you will see some mad people. You see how calm one mad person will be, and the other is so violent. So it before the madness, that's how the spirit of the person is. So it is now left for how the madness that is in him or her reacts. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So that is how drugs do. It doesn't impurify, it amplifies who you are.
Yes.
There are some people that takes drugs.
It brings out the worst.
But will you agree with me that there are some people that take drugs, they will now look dumb because in their nature they are so calm. So that is why it amplifies who they are. And there are some people you will see them looking ras, doing all sort of nonsense because the foolishness is already there.
Let me say something about this Olamide's video. It's just like a sinner preaching to another sinner to repent of their sins. So for me, I think that if he actually wanted to talk about drug abuse and the dangers, there've been another way, like a better way to depict whatever he wanted, and that would have been achieved through a collaboration with people that are actually like there to help people. You cannot be a drug addict or you take drugs because after that video, subsequent music, he was taking those things. So you can't be into something and you are advising people that are looking up to you not to do that. He could have done that video in another way through a collaboration with people that actually knows what they are doing. That video is a no for me. It's a total no.
Thank you very much, Favor, for that point you just made. And we are moving to that segment. If you are still listening to the podcast, remember we're talking about how secular musicians influence the lifestyles of Gen Zs to use drugs. Now, talking about the lifestyles of this musician, very important. Like you just said, Favor, somebody who is using drug is now he's now putting out a music video that says don't use drugs. So it's just like kettle calling pot black. So now let's examine the lifestyles of those people. NDLEA wants to fight against the consumption of drug. And if you check it, the local drug is getting out of hand. The way people are consuming drug, cannabis, a lot of people, the inspiration behind these drugs, I don't know how they are creative, but the way they keep mixing. Now, if NDLEA is trying to fight drug abuse, why can't you use people who don't have record of drugs?
Exactly, it's as simple as that.
Or even if you want to fight drug, why can't you use people who are clean? Like they were actually into drugs, but they have recovered, and over time, I know they use people like that, and now they are trying to show you what drug did to them. But we're talking about these musicians are using drugs. Go to their Instagram handle, you see them smoking it everywhere. Their videos, they are not even scared of showing this lifestyle out there. And you go to the comment section and you see fans asking, say, Omobile, I say this one day high. It's just like they are promoting this, and you cannot tell me that you are making this person an ambassador for NDLEA. What is the motive behind this? No, can you please explain to me, because I don't really understand.
I don't want to believe that everything in this country should be a joke, because virtually everything is now a joke. The politics, everything. Then, okay, you're making someone who is into drugs and promoting some I don't know, kind of lifestyle to youth, that's the same person that you singled out to be your ambassador. And what Naira Marley now do is that he lives in pretense. Like if you come to his Instagram handle, he try as much as possible to not to use drugs. The highest you see ladies twerking and all of that. But the funny thing is that people around him, they are smoking. No, those ones they are smoking, except him, Naira Marley. What makes you think he's not doing that out of content? He will keep so far the camera is there. Let me just keep it up with the NDLEA. I don't even know how to call that. Sorry. But you can't be staying with people that are taking drugs, and you tell me you are not. It's just a cover up, and NDLEA, yeah. That is not a good step at all, because number one, we never saw where Naira Marley got say that, okay, I've repented, I'm no longer into this. It never happened. Like, it just came out of the blues. There are so many people in the rehabs that are passing. Some people they have recovered. You didn't see those people. Your organization or your agency, you didn't see those people. You went after Naira Marley. No, I don't think he's a good person for ambassador or whatever. It's not a good influence at all. If you are being honest, he's not.
Okay. Just as you said, we are not even only catching the cruise. Government are using us to catch cruise too. Because when you are definitely bringing a drug addict to be an ambassador of drug, I don't know what you want to portray. I don't know what you want to bring out there.
They play.
There was never a time
They play.
Say that
it was so funny.
I went to the rehab, and after 6 months or a year, I've come out clean. Like people would be like, that would have been a good way. People would be like, see my mentor, see my mother. He went clean for a year. And we saw the evidence, and now he's out to motivate us. Like, his fans will readily start changing, because it's real. But
because these people have massive
this one just
followers.
Happen boom. The next thing, is it a miracle or magic? I don't understand.
It saddens when after this generation, the oncoming generation. What someone was telling me sometimes ago, he said, we are only completely of this generation. The next generation is going to be worse. Like, we'll be picking mad people on the streets like nylon because of the level of this drug abuse. What's the damage it has caused in the society. So I fear, I have fear about the next coming generation.
I think we are not looking at something important.
Okay.
Let's look at the media, the authorities there. Why are this music getting to us? Because if these musics are not getting to us, we won't even be talking about this. By the time the person brings out the first one, you put it down, second one, you put it down, they will know that, it's high time I change.
They can't put it down because the media is making their own money.
That is what she's saying. That's what she's saying.
The musicians
they are part of it. The media is part of it.
They are trying to live their life and do their music. Is your work as the media authority to know, okay, this person said that he produced a song, let's listen to it. Before it will get to any other person, you people are there as a security, you are standing in between the producers and the listeners. So once you listen to this song and you feel that, this is not good for the society, you put it down. By the time someone produces 7 musics and 5 out of 7 are being taken down, they will take caution. But okay, you are complaining, but you are pushing their musics out. It doesn't make sense. I think part of our problem is also the media authorities, people that are authorizing these musics and making it to get, because if it didn't get to me, I would not even know about it.
And this let's go down to how these people get their inspiration to write the lyrics. they get inspired when they take these drugs. So you just hear somebody say, "Dibidi dab dab." What is the meaning of dibidi dab dab dab? No, please. Let's not come down to these lyrics. We're talking about lyrics here. What will inspire that kind of song? You know, Kenny Black, the popular comedian, always make musical joke. And so in one of this comedy, what will inspire someone to say, "Iye men, comma"? Like, what is the meaning of most of these things?
No, for that, yeme is a word.
What is the meaning?
No, for deltas.
Is a word.
Yes.
Because there are so many songs that we don't know the meaning, but
Let me just
we sing it.
my dad.
It's just like exclamation.
My dad will say that musicians of these days, they just wake up and from their bed straight, they enter studio, and whatever comes
They
to
have
their
to be
mouth,
high. Most of them.
whatever comes to their mouth is what they sing. There was never a time they sat down and
no inspiration.
write down
from
their
here.
music and look at, like, try to make it creative. They just wake up, enter studio, maybe get high, whatever comes to their mind. If it is women, if it is high or anything, they just sing about
I was watching this video of this popular, I don't know, I've forgotten his name, American singer. Do you know he was so high? His eye was like this. But even on that is high. Like, he was high, but you needed to see the kind of lines he was rapping. It was on point.
That's where
He
they
was
draw
so
the
high.
inspiration.
That
If you
is
ask
what
a
I
lot
was
of
saying
them,
just now, that most people, like, drug deal with every individual differently. Do you understand? So it depends on what you have in you. That is what it amplifies.
any inspiration that you draw from drug, I don't think it's good for the society
It's
at all,
not.
because you extend the highness to us.
Just like Rema. Rema was speaking in an interview. They asked him, how do you get inspiration for your lyrics? Rema told them that Rema was like, music is spirit and it just comes. So there's no sitting down for days. Like, you just be inspiration will come and you start writing. So most of them, the truth is that if you check the lyrics of their song, it doesn't have sensible meaning, but we love it because of the beatings.
It's just like this, my guy Omale is the artist for depressed people. So if you are depressed and you want to enter into that your depression very well, just so you're going to say, so take my pain, like so many of these, like
Why Zazu is for the mad.
Yeah,
Zazu.
exactly.
Like, that guy is always high whenever he's singing. They almost threw him out of
To me,
Egbe.
the madness is inborn.
Like,
So when he's high, it's a hit.
they almost beat him off a stage. They almost.
Yeah, we have, like, I think Nigerians, we have good musicians, but we have a thing with the lyrics.
Yes, with the lyrics. And it's not just in Nigeria, all round.
We're not even talking about where we adopted this.
Nigeria is better.
drug.
When you listen to Western musicians, my God, the kind of lyrics, they even use more of, awful lyrics. You see them talking about sex in their lyrics, all those things, like, it's something good. And that's why I think, according to statistics, by 2030, the rate of drug consumption in Africa, that is Nigeria specifically, is going to be very bad. That it won't be controlled because of why Nigeria is creative. One thing I love about this country is that we know they carry last. Bring something, give us. We go use our past. In fact, become more creative more than you. And that is what's happening. And if you check outside there, it is rare. Out of 10 kids, it is rare to see 2 that is not. Out of 10 kids, 8 are into drugs. They battle with drug abuse, and all this is coming from the media. Now the question is, what is the way forward? How can we address this? What should be done to ensure that music should be edifying? Music should lift the spirit. You should listen to music and be inspired to do something good with your life. You should listen to music and tell yourself that there is a better future. Why waste my life on drugs? What do you think should be done?
Okay, for me, part of the solution we can actually achieve from this is that let's start with family. When a child, you're on a TV and this is what is playing, like this oncolos that you brought in just now, my child will be listening to it. Do you understand what they want to create in that child, what they want to build in that child? So let's start from family. Every parent should be conscious about what a child listens to or watch. And for the artists out there, let's for the sake of the young generation, if you are not concerned about your own health, but for the sake of this young generation, please, I think there are better ways you can bring your music career up without this drug. And funny enough, there are other musicians and music artists that they are not using drugs, and I don't know, maybe if they are doing it at the back door, like let's say about Two-Face now. I don't think that guy is.
Even if he's doing,
I
you
can't
never see
move
him.
out.
You understand? And
doesn't bring it
and
out.
bring out.
every lyrics of that guy, of that bro, is evergreen. You know, one thing about these people that are using what's it called, drug. Anytime they release music, it got fades immediately. I don't know if you observe that. It's like just wipe up. It fades away immediately, easily. But those that have this inspiration, they sit down and think about it, and maybe they draw their inspiration from a reliable strength and source. You see, it's always evergreen. Let's look at the likes of P Square too. The same thing. You can see them, how their music is always evergreen. Yeah. Please, let's draw our attention to the younger generation. Let's not just because of the commercial purpose we want to get from it.
Thank you very much.
Okay, like she said, parenting is one of it. Parenting is one. When you tell your children that this is it and this is not it, no matter what, no matter the extent you are being pushed, this is a no-no for you. And again, I think education should second that. When like there is a platform that educates the society, everyone, musicians inclusive, telling them that this drug first is a no for everyone in the society, then on the part of the artists, you let them know, see the extent of what their lyrics are doing to the society. Because I don't think, let me just give them that benefit of that they don't know that this thing is actually harming the society. So I think that aside others, they too should be educated and told the truth. Look at what your video is causing. Look at what your music is causing. Please, can you change? Like, we have so many beautiful songs that don't show any of this. Like she said, Two-Face, P Square, so many of them. You see them clean content, and people and their songs are evergreen, never forgotten. Whenever you play them, they are ever new. Then I've made mention of this before, because there's no way that you tell, let me say, 100 of people something and all of them key in. You still find people that will oppose what you said. That's where the government comes in. People that are the authorities that are over this content, the music. When you have done that education part and the stubborn ones keep doing what they are doing, that is when you as an authority now comes in and keep on back to back. Bring down, don't look at money. That's one problem of Nigeria: corruption, bribery, and all of that. But they don't look at the bigger picture, what will come after 20 years because of this little thing. So I think that's where they should start bringing down those videos. If I'm an artist and I want to make money and I produce music and you keep on taking down I will try to know the reason for it. And when I find out the reason, for my talent's sake, for my visibility's sake, and for money's sake, I will try to change and do better. So that is my own suggestion.
Thank you so much, Grace and Favor. You have both said a lot. You have even said my mind. I don't even have anything to say. And while we have addressed the issue of music lyrics that promote drug content, we talked about videos that also promote, this drug usage. We talked about the lifestyles of musicians and how parenting is a vital part of correcting this for the young kids, for the younger generation, for the Gen Zs who seem to be out of control. The truth is, the fight for drug abuse is a big fight. It is a fight not just for me, not just for Favor, not just for Grace, not just for some NGOs or for the NDLEA. It is a fight for all. You also have to play a role in this. listening to this kind of content can also corrupt your mind, and you don't want that to happen. I mean, there's a bright future ahead of you. You have a lot to achieve for your life. You have a lot to achieve, and the truth is, drug will only just put you in a fantasy for a while. After then, it degrades your life. No, I don't get the kind of, ecstasy or highness you want to achieve. But believe me, you keep getting high, but your destiny keep going low, and we don't want that. I don't demotivate. You keep getting high, but your destiny is going low, and we don't want that for you. This is a fight for all. Let's listen to music content that can edify. And if you're an upcoming musician, please, you don't have to join the gangs of people who consume drugs or put those kind of, crazy or unsensible lyrics into your content for you to blow or get viral. All right? We don't want to mention some certain name, a name that must not be mentioned, but his music inspired a lot of people after his death. His music inspired a lot of people. His music spoke about, in fact, his music was a lot of things that people do.
Exactly. You know who?
You know who? We don't want to say it, and we have come to the end of today's podcast. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate Grace and Favor joining me and making this podcast a lovely one, and also sharing your insight with me. Till next time we meet again, do continue to tune in and listen to us. Bye for now.
Bye.